Annialis, what about you? What do you feel is sort of the best weapon meta for you so far?
I racked 3 SMGs and a Tommy gun.
Holy Season 5 and happy birthday, Fortnite. I'm Fran Mirabella, and this is episode 5 of our Fortnite show. On today's show, we're talking about the new weapon meta, new SMGs, new nerfs, and more. We've also got Annialis on today's show. She's a top-tier player who uses a controller on PC to dominate in tournaments. Joining me is Stephen Rue, Sean Pitts, and our special guest, Annialis. Thank you so much for dropping by. How are you doing today, Annialis?
I'm doing good. Thank you again, guys, for having me today.
Yeah, we're super excited to talk. Steven and I were playing very late last night. How you doing, man?
I'm tired.
We won the last game, though. We're pretty happy about
Hey.
that. Sean DC'd.
Yeah, I did DC, yeah.
But we'll get our win in the next round. I know. So Annialis, let's get a little background real fast on you. Tell us about yourself. I called you a top tier player. I mean, you just won. You were in the top slots of the summer skirmish that Epic is doing. How long have you been competing? Just give us some background.
Well, I was invited for the very first skirmish one, but I wasn't able to attend that because I was a part of the St. Jude charity stream for Guardian Con, so I was away from that. So they rescheduled me for the second week and the third one, which I'm very excited for and nervous. So top tier pleb right here.
Yeah. When is you placed like, what was it, 61 out of the top 100?
Yeah. 61th. I was really happy because I wasn't thinking I was going to be up there, so I'm pretty proud of myself for like being next to a bunch of really, really top tier names.
Yeah, I mean,
One above Crafty, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say you were one above Crafty.
Yeah, we saw that.
I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah.
Too late, already out there. Crafty, we'd love to have you on the show sometime, man. But yeah, so you also are a streamer. Do you stream like 7 days a week, 5 days a week? What's your story?
I try to because I try to balance being a mom. So daytime, I'm like completely busy. Nighttime, it's when fun happens. So that's why I choose to have a nighttime stream hour. It's just so much easier when the little ones are asleep. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you can find Annialis at, it's Annialis FTW on Twitch, right?
That's actually my Twitter handle. My Twitch is twitch.tv/Annialis.
Oh, good. I'm glad that I asked. Okay, so let's get into the show and talk some Fortnite. Again, we're going to be talking about SMGs, the shotgun balance, the new meta. So the solo showdown is returning, by the way. Playground has returned. And also, I really wanted to talk to Annialis about, the fact she plays with a controller on PC and is really awesome at it. So everyone, let's get into it. The whole SMG and Tommy gun thing, the whole new weapon balance of Season 5, they just pushed out a hotfix. So let's start real fast with you, Annialis. Have you got a chance with the SMGs? What do you think of the new balance and the hotfix and how the gunplay is feeling?
Honestly, I feel like they can tweak it a little bit more because they are pretty broken. Even after the hotfix, it kind of feels pointless to build, which is what this game is basically about. So I feel like they definitely need to tweak it a little bit more, or else it's just like spam,
Yeah, it sounds like you feel like the buildings are just coming down too fast, or?
Exactly. It's just like, I feel like even if you try to have like a battle off, it's just pointless because like you just get shot down very easy by like every weapon that just spams, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of sucky. So, and shotgun feels really pointless at this point. It's just like a joke. So I wish they kind of balance it a little bit more so people can, use more of an option for other weapons.
Interesting. Steven, what do you think?
I completely agree with her. It's interesting because it became like a shotgun meta, double pumping, and then tacs were better, and then they made heavy shotguns better, and SMGs were terrible, like especially the silenced SMG.
Yeah,
and then they started bringing everything up, and then they brought out the Tommy gun, which is, I don't care what people call it, it's not an SMG, it's an assault sniper rifle.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's so good. And then they brought out the compact SMG, and before the nerf, you could literally just run like 3 of them or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that's 200 bullets if you have 4. And then they nerfed starting health of walls, like Annialis said.
Yes.
And it's like 3 bullets to kill a wall. It's just like, it's shredding everything.
Yeah, but they did take that down a notch. Are you feeling like she's saying, right, Annialis, so you don't think it's enough yet?
They nerfed SMGs, but they didn't buff starting health on the walls. So it's still like Annialis said, you're just melting builds.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing I've noticed in season 5, period, is just stuff is getting torn down constantly. Where before I felt like Close Encounters, there's a lot of crazy building. I mean, I think it was an objective of theirs, right? They wanted to get away from just build into the sky and use double pump. But now it almost seems like it's overcorrected on the other side, where you're just constantly getting shredded in buildings. Sean, what do you think? You just recently came back to Fortnite in force from PUBG, right?
Yeah, so I've now playing Fortnite full time for the first time in a while, and I'm having a lot of fun. But yeah, I just like I run normally like Tommy gun SMG, and then if I could get a P90 or the compact SMG, it's great, and you just shoot through everything. Like I have a million bullets, and like especially in squads, when everybody has 2 SMGs and someone starts building, it's just like it's pointless. You just have 2 people dedicated to shooting down cover.
Yeah.
And then you just mow the people down.
Yeah, it was almost like before when you used to have like a minigun assigned to someone if someone would like carry that around. Usually that was me. Just tear down some walls for people, but now everybody's got, I think, that effect going on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What they did roughly was in addition to adding the compact SMG, which was a little overpowered at first, they have nerfed the accuracy. There's a negative 20% bonus accuracy there. Damage was reduced by 2 points on both the gun types, I believe. Rate of fire came down a point, and then damage fall off came down quite a bit, between negative 400 to 1,000, and drop rates came down a little. But again, with all that, it sounds like we concur that it just doesn't feel like it's enough. I mean, Annialis, what would you do, like thinking about stats like that? What would you do to fix this?
Honestly, like, I abuse those weapons. The more broken they are, I abuse them. Not because, like, it's there for you, and it's basically just letting people know, like, hey, if this is being abused, then they're gonna realize that people are not gonna like it, and that's what they're doing. That's why the nerf is there, because a lot of people take advantage of how broken they are. But I feel like even if they are still taking it down a notch, I feel like they need to increase all the other weapons. I feel like if you keep decreasing or like nerfing a weapon, and it reminds me of Destiny 1, there's going to always be a new meta to counter something, and people are going to jump onto the next weapon that's OP, and it's just going to be an endless nerfing. So I think that's a pointless thing. So I feel like you should definitely buff the shotgun or ARs with the bloom to make it more of a, have a counter for it. Or else everybody's just going to run, like me, 4 SMGs. That's my to go to now, and it's really broken.
I mean, I think you make a really good point there, which is that they're kind of going through different metas. I think some of that is intentional. They're bringing us through these new waves to try things that you it's too much, too little, or whatever, to change up the gameplay. But I think there's been enough play of Fortnite at this point that people have their favorite styles. I mean, Steven, going back to you, like, where in the seasons was your favorite, gun meta?
That's a good question. Like, honestly, shredding people with SMGs is fun. Well, it is fun. Now. Well, double pumping was fun too. It's just like when there's something that takes that, like, you can just kill people so fast. It is fun. Like, killing people fast in a multiplayer game is fun, but it is a little broken. What I would like to see is, I would like to see them increase the handling on shotguns, and then tie in the bloom up a little on the ARs, and then you can use ARs more. Shotguns are better close range than SMGs now, and and definitely please nerf the C4.
Oh god,
C4 is crazy.
That's
insane.
That's insane.
That's a whole nother discussion. I think. Annialis, what about you? What do you feel is sort of the best weapon meta for you so far?
I rack 3 SMGs and a Tommy gun. I feel like ARs are so pointless right now because there's the bloom. You just like I said, this is a spam meta. The more the spam, the better. And yeah, C4, even though they nerfed it, I feel like it's not enough because I still abuse that too.
Yeah. So wait, right now you're still running 3 SMGs and like a drum gun. Is that what you're saying? Really?
Yeah.
You just don't even bother with assault?
No, I actually replaced them with Tommy guns.
While we're on the topic, what is your favorite 5-item loadout?
What's my loadout?
Yeah, what's your favorite loadout?
If you could get any loadout ever.
Double P90s, a Tommy gun, and I guess the rest would be healing. It's just
No
so
C4?
broken. I don't even like bother with explosives anymore because I feel
Gotcha.
like SMGs replace that now.
Wow. I mean, that does tell you something. And again, you're a very competitive player and you lean into that. So the fact that even after the hotfix, you're still willing to lean into that direction seems like there's room to breathe in there. Like last night, I had different experience. I'm not as good as you guys, but I was using the drum gun and just like the damage fall off and the bloom, like I got a couple headshots and then because I had the trigger hold down still, then it just did not even register. Like it went from headshots and I totally didn't even change the reticle. They weren't moving to like nothing. And I got killed in the shootout. So they were pretty far away though. So for me, I was like, I don't know. Seems like it kind of got pushed down, but I got to get good, I guess. So
I've been watching a lot of streamers just like run a silenced pistol to shoot people from like mid range, or like I haven't seen, a lot of people aren't using ARs at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing it very common. I watch a lot of Twitch and I've seen so many streamers opt to not use any ARs at all, even like Scars.
I will say, if I have a long range weapon, it's very likely that I'm just like, nah, I don't really. A drum gun and some SMGs, like, and a hunting rifle. I don't really think about ARs anymore.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, related to this topic, I want to dig in a little more to the double pump stuff. So, we actually had a chance to interview Ninja this weekend, and we have a very quick clip of we talked to him actually at his house out there in Chicago. So, here, let's get a quick take from him on what he thinks of the current weapon meta and double pumps.
I don't even think they needed this extra shotgun update. The double pump was, in my opinion, in a really good state, especially since they added and kind of buffed a lot of the SMGs recently. They added the Tommy gun, all those things really kind of made it so that if you want to run double pump, it's viable. One shotgun isn't viable at all anymore. Like back in the day, you needed to pump an SMG or something like that, or pump at a Tommy gun. And now that they kind of removed the double pump in general, it's literally just very heavy SMG. That's not that much fun. When you get in, when you're just getting lasered all the time by multiple people shooting SMGs down, it's also just completely destroying building.
All right, so as you can see, Ninja's really passionate. He wants double pump back. Now, he said he wants it like last season, season 4. Like, it was pretty good. Not like old school crazy double pump, but a little bit of that delay between switching. What does everybody think of that? Annialis, where are you at with this?
I came from season 1. I experienced the broken shotgun, and I'm honestly glad. I actually do agree with him that I prefer last season. It wasn't too broken, but it wasn't also like over, like really, really, really broken. But it was nice. It was balanced in my opinion, where they had a little bit of delay, but like you can still use it. It was, it was viable.
Yeah,
but now it just feels like no one uses it anymore because it's not really the best thing to use.
Yeah, so towards the end of season 4, what was your loadout likely to be?
Probably rockets, a scar, and I still, you know what? This is very unbiased opinion, but I actually don't use shotguns since season 1. I've never used shotguns.
Really? So you just got away from it, period.
With SMGs before like everybody started using it.
Oh, so you're loving this meta then.
Yeah, she's going to do really well in the summer skirmish. You're going to crush out there. It's like that's how you prefer to play. Steven, what about you?
I mean, yeah, I agree with Ninja. They should revert the changes back. It was more balanced. But even if they revert it, SMGs are still better at this moment in time. Just SMGs are so good. There's no point in double pumping. It just tears everything apart.
Yeah. Sean, did you get to play much of season 4?
Yeah, I also played like season 1 back in the day. So like because I started playing in October, and then I took a break. But so I'm a big shotgun guy. I love shotguns in games. They're my favorite thing to use. I still use a shotgun now in Fortnite.
Yeah.
I just have an SMG next to it so I could shoot one shot, switch to my SMG.
Yeah.
I use it to break shield normally.
Yeah, you made an interesting comment to me. You played a lot of Gears of War, right? Made originally by Epic. Like, you said that feels similar to
They are very similar games.
Yeah.
And it sounds ridiculous to people, but so I've played probably 6,000 hours of Gears of War in my life. So
Wow.
it was the only game I owned for 4 years. And the shotgun mechanics, that's a game designed around movement and shotgunning. And Fortnite is a game that was, up until this current meta, designed around movement and shotgunning. It's just instead of bouncing the walls, you're building them.
Right.
So it's a very similar feel. So I still try to get in as many shotgun fights as I can because I typically win them all.
Right. So how do you feel like the one pump or single shotgun choice right now feels in the game?
If you don't have an SMG, it's worthless. Like dropping on a pump shotgun is the worst thing you can do in the beginning of a game. And like, because it's anybody with an SMG is going to kill you after you shoot them once, unless you crit them and kill them in one shot.
Yep. Yeah, I have to say, I felt originally, before they fixed it towards the end of season 4 even, I just did not like double pump. I'm just not that type of player. I feel like in the loadout too, it's just annoying that you're loading up with 2 of those just to get back-to-back shots. Like, it feels broken. Like, then just increase the rate of fire if that's cool, But then, right, what's the difference almost? But now we're on the other side.
If they increase the rate of fire of the pump, then you could double
but
pump.
Not with double pump. Meaning, like, if people are cheating it anyways, it kind of speaks to the fact, like, well, if people get that rate of fire by just picking 2 of them up, then either choose to have it in the game or not, right?
Yeah.
There's one way to look at it. But now it's happening with SMGs. So you get to carry around 3 of them now. So, and a drum gun. So it's just like relentless fire. Like, your clip's loaded up. You don't have to reload. So I do, for me, I think the current season is a little messy in that sense. Like, everything's coming down.
It feels very like hectic and chaotic.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're achieving tearing down these buildings, and it does make for a different kind of end game currently. But personally, I actually agree with Ninja. I think somewhere in between, maybe. Like, I was fine with it where it was at the end of season 4. So whatever. I guess we'll see where they take it from here. The fact that they did a hot fix after they put that compact SMG out there, that tells you that they weren't quite prepared for just like the impact of that, and they kind of overcorrected. And I think this is their first stab at it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they.
I mean, the clips from the first day of that gun being live were insane. Like, people getting P90'd from like 150 meters.
Yeah.
It was like they had to fix the gun. It was insane.
Like, the one thing I'll say though is no matter how bad the meta gets in Fortnite, Epic has shown that they can push hotfixes or change things very fast. So, like, I'm not worried. Like, they'll listen to the community and push stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to give them credit for that. It's not like they leave stuff just broken. They're definitely changing things a lot. They haven't managed to completely, I'd say, piss the community off. Like, to your points, like, even though SMG's kind of crazy right now, it's still kind of fun. It's not like it's totally, I mean, it is kind of broken, but we're still having fun with it because that's the kind of game it is, don't you think?
Let me ask you, have you shot somebody point blank with a shotgun and then been killed with an SMG before you could click your second shot, Fran?
Yeah, of
Is
course,
that fun, Fran?
Yeah, it's not fun, but also getting 2 back-to-back blue pump shotguns to the face with full, health and shields also really sucks.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. You want the best of all the worlds. So, all right. Let's go on to our next topic and talk to Annialis about the fact that she is an awesome player. She's been playing a while with a controller on the PC. We all want to know more about this. Steven and I were talking a lot about this yesterday. So, Annialis, walk us through it. What's the choice of playing with a controller against mouse and keyboard players?
Honestly, I'm a console player. I've been a console player for like over 20 plus years. So that's like wired in the back of my head. It's like muscle memory. So I feel comfortable with it. It is very tough because let me tell you, there's gods out there now, especially on MNK. Everyone and their mom is like a god builder. So it's pretty tough, but I like the challenge, I like it a lot. So it's fun.
So why play on PC over console if you're going to play with a controller, Annialis?
I feel like there's just a lot of things better. For example, the lag is way less on PC, and then I can play it on uncapped frames. And I like to go up against really good players. I like to challenge myself mainly.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an understatement. That was the whole point. It's like, wow, like you're competing in competitions on a controller on the PC. Do you know any other, of the top players that do that out there?
I mean, I don't know if they play on like PC, but I do know that like Nick Merckx, but he's on console, But right. I think I'm like the only person that plays on PC that I know.
Yeah. So I mean, what's your advice? Like, I switched to PC some time ago and have just been digging in on. I mean, I grew up on PC as well, but mouse and keyboard's pretty tough. And like you said, there's really good players. I mean, would you advise for people to like try controller, or is it just something that that's just you?
I do want to learn it, especially with Playground that is out now. I've been trying to learn it, but I feel like at the end of the day, play with whatever you're comfortable with, you know what I'm saying? But if you're new to Fortnite, then I say get on the MNK grind. I feel like it'll be a lot easier for you because you're new. But to me, like, I'm so used to it, I feel like I prefer it,
Yeah. What's your setup? Like, do you just crank sensitivity all the way up, or do you do anything, a different controller? Do you use SCUF or whatever it is? Like, what's your setup like?
I do use a SCUF. I honestly don't even really use like the buttons all that much on it. It's just regular controller mainly to me. That's all it is.
Do you have your sensitivity really high?
Mine is between 8 and 9 X and Y. It's
Okay,
just
yeah, that
better
is pretty
since
high. That is
for
pretty high,
building
yeah.
for us because it's not like MNK where you can just like turn around 360 so quick. Like on controller, you have a toggle stick and you can only go so fast with it.
Yeah, for sure. And you use Pro Builder mode on PC? Is that how that works? Or
Builder Pro.
Builder Pro?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Builder
Okay.
Pro with yeah, basically it's really fast. You can build as fast as a PC player, but at the end of the day, PC players will definitely have an easier day, easier time.
100%.
Well, if there are any other players out there that are playing on their controller and PC and prefer, leave it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And who knows? Maybe you guys maybe there's more out there than we know. Unless you guys have any more questions on this topic, I was going to move on to the next.
Let's move on to the tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah. So big news, actually, and it just popped before we got onto the show, is that Solo Showdown is coming back. Solo Showdown, if you remember, is the mode where you can compete online by playing a certain number of Solo Showdown matches, earning points, and then you will get prizes. The prizes this time around are for first place, 50,000 V-Bucks. For second to fourth place, you get 25,000 V-Bucks. 5 to 50th place is 13,500 V-Bucks. And then from 51st place to 100 is about 7,500 V-Bucks. One thing I noticed was it doesn't seem like there's any in-game rewards beyond that. They had the spray last time and stuff, right? Am I missing anything in there? I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't think you're missing anything, but like people.
Did you care?
Not really. I mean, I didn't even finish it, but people are really interested in the Solo Showdown to get into these summer skirmish events. Like that's where the real money is. You could buy 1 million V-Bucks if you win.
Yeah. So that actually was a big, little asterisk in there because it's not necessarily what happened last time around, but they say you may receive invitations to future summer skirmishes if you're a top player in here. So they're going to use it to scout players. I mean, Annialis, how did you get into the tournaments? Like, what's the process? Who do you know?
I actually got really lucky. They contacted me through my Gmail, and I was like, all right, that sounds really cool. And I was very surprised to be a part of it. They asked me, but I think the Solar Skirmish is a really good idea because there's so many underground players out there, and I know they want to get recognition. It's just hard for them, especially if they're not streamers. So I think this is a very good opportunity for them.
Yep. Has anyone participated much in the Solo Showdowns in the past?
Are you talking about us?
Yeah.
No, I think I did like 10 of them, but I never finished the entire match.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a grind, right? Because you got to play solo, you got to be committed to it. And worth noting, you only have until July 30th at 10 a.m. Eastern if you want a chance, first of all, to win those V-Bucks, but second of all, to be recognized for Summer Skirmish,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, but to piggyback off what Annialis just said, there's so many good underground players. And take last Summer Skirmish, for example, player iDrop's Bodies, which you know, right, Annialis?
Yeah, he's in the same clan as me from back in Destiny days.
Yeah, he's a Destiny 1 player, super good on console, or super good on controller, and he won on controller, and he was so good at it that people thought he was cheating.
I thought
crazy.
he dropped like 320 bombs.
He dropped like 320 bombs, and
insane.
Life-changing money.
He was doing so good, that Fortnite had to address it officially. People were accusing him of like trying to get in a match and dropping out and all this stuff, and they're like, guys, we looked for this. He really just slayed.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast.
So congrats to the clan, Annialis and iDrop's Bodies. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's sick.
We'll see how well he does in the next round. I think Solo Showdown is really cool. It was a nice surprise to come back. We didn't know there was comebacks. So check it out.
Do you have a partner lined up, Annialis, for this upcoming one?
I do. It was a last minute thing, but I did manage to grab somebody because everybody's like already taken. Everybody's trying to grab like high tier players. So it was like pretty last minute with me. But I think we're going to be good.
Nice.
This is for the next Summer Skirmish, right?
Yeah, it's duos.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah,
Nice.
and there's like
Wow,
a lot
sorry.
of players that aren't like, because I know that there's a PUBG thing this weekend, so some people aren't going.
Yeah, there's like a
Yes, there's a charity event.
Yeah.
Ninja's at it right now. It is worth noting the show is recorded on July 26th, and we put it up the next day. So I guess you'll be in the middle of this tournament by the time people are watching this. So
Good luck.
Good luck to you. Okay, on to our next topic. Playground is back, this time with team settings that have gotten added, and then they just kind of buffed a bunch of stuff, more drops, more loot. It seems really good. I mean, everybody loved Playground. Steven, you got to look at it. Kind of what did you see in the new mode so far?
They increase like loot spawns and stuff like that. Like you can open just a regular chest and get like 4 guns from it. You can knock down a tree and get like 300 wood from it. It's very good practice. Like I recommend if you want to get better, hop in with a friend, play 1v1s, just build stuff like that.
So you're going to teach me, right?
You want a 1v1? You want a 1v1 for some V-Bucks?
It's funny. Someone hopped into my chat last night. It was like 1v1 me, bro. And I was like, I didn't know that they added that. I missed it. And I was like, what are they talking about? But everybody's going to be doing that now. And what do you think of the playground mode?
I think it's honestly a really good idea. I wish that it's not a limited time mode. I feel like that's something kind of like they should put there forever, especially for new players that don't know what they're doing. It's a really nice way to learn. So instead of like jumping into a game and you're fighting people probably that are really good, that's a really good way to learn. And yeah, that's like myself, I'm learning MNK with it. So it's really smart.
Yeah, I really do hope to see you on mouse and keyboard someday. I bet you that eventually you'll adapt and then you'll just completely slay. But it is a different world. I'm with you. You hit the nail on the head, which is, why is this a limited time mode? Why are so many modes limited time modes? Now, I think we kind of get it, but how do you feel, number one, about Playground, which I agree, we've been waiting for forever. And finally, I'm like, thank goodness I can practice building. I can test out new guns. Now I have team settings that like I can play a squad and split up into duos and like practice. Why is it limited time mode?
It has to be like a technical thing. Like it must be something like, well, remember when it was delayed for a really long time?
Yeah.
And it was a technical issue that they were having.
They were nervous about it, I think.
Where they couldn't add something or stuff like that. But I think every time they want to add something, like last Playground mode, they didn't have the ATK carts.
Yes.
And to add them, I think they had to disable it, put it in, because I don't think they can just add it into the game mode. So I don't know. I'm sure there's some technical issue, because like, why wouldn't you just want to have it full time?
I have a theory.
I want it in there full time. I mean, I think that Fortnite, especially coming. So playing like vanilla Fortnite, where like no one was Builder Pro wasn't in the game, and like it was a very different game. Then I go play PUBG for 6 months, and I come back, and now I shoot somebody, and they build a mansion. It's like it's such a ridiculous learning curve, especially for new players, that this mode is so crucial, I think, to people playing, like new players getting better moving forward. Because now it's just like I run into a John Wick, and I'm just like, well, I'm dead.
Yeah. I have a couple thoughts on it. I think that they definitely, with their limited time modes, they think there's a little bit of a danger that you're just going to get tired of it. And then like you stop playing, and
that's the thing too.
It does keep you wanting. It keeps you like, oh man, I can't wait till it comes back. And what are the changes? It's that whole Disney vault all over again, right? Like, oh, I better buy it because it's going into the vault. Like, we're never going to be able to watch Cinderella again. Like, okay. I mean, it's a little different now that everything's streaming, but you know what I'm talking about.
Back in the day.
Exactly. Back in the day when they put it in the vault. But there's that, but I do think maybe they're approaching a world where once they smooth it out, to your point, Steven, that it feels fine, that maybe they'll leave it. But I think that for all the reasons you listed, plus wanting to keep it like special still.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I definitely agree with that, because like, yeah, certain modes like all gold or like blitz or stuff like that, that's like, I can see those modes coming back and then generating excitement and then people going. I mean, that's the same reason, like when I see something in the store, I'm like, well, I mean, I have to buy that now, because it's going to leave and I don't know if next time I'm going to be able to get it. So it's the same thing where it's like, oh, blitz is here, I'm going to play it because I don't know when I can play it again. But that mode specifically, like playground, is just too important to growth.
It is, yeah. I mean, I feel pressure that I'm like, oh man, I do want to practice. I want to get in and improve my skills. Yeah, you're working on mouse and keyboard and Annialis. It's like, what? Don't take it away from us. So
exactly.
I think, we're all on the same page, right? We don't want them to take it away. Just leave it in, right?
Yeah.
Leaving it forever.
Leave it in forever. You heard it, Epic. So come on. Okay, we're going to move on to our last bit of topics here. It's just like they made a couple other patches. I mean, this is kind of a grab bag if you guys want to talk about anything. I did want to bring up that slurp juice. They changed up a little bit. I thought it was interesting. Now it grants 1 health every 0.5 seconds, up to a total of 75. And then if your health is full, your shield is going to get granted instead. I did feel like it was kind of useless. What do you guys think of the slurp juice changes? Annialis?
I think that was a really good idea, because you have the 25% potion, you have the 50% potion. If you had to pick out of all those three, obviously the slurp was kind of useless if you had those other ones. So that was my thing. I would drop them every time or just use them to get it out of the way, just so no one else picked them up. But I would rather have other, potions. So with that change, I feel like it's a lot better, because a lot of people have been using them and picking them up and using it as like one of their mains, So it's a smart idea.
Steven, have you got to use the new Slurp Juice much at all?
Yeah, 100% agree with everything she just said.
Easy
Yeah,
opinion on it. Same, Sean?
Yeah.
I haven't really got a chance to use it. I wanted to make sure I understand it right. So Grant's 75 now, up
Yeah, and
throughout.
if
That's it.
if you have full health,
Yeah.
it converts to shield.
Sure. But either way, it's going to bring you 75 up.
Yep.
So it sits right in between the 50% shield potion and a chug jug, which takes forever.
And if you like look at it, it's purple. It's a purple
Yeah.
rarity. It should be good.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. It was kind of throwaway. A couple other things they've done that I'm curious if anybody have noticed. You did mention that the building health has changed.
Yeah, and that's
They're-
huge.
Are you? I mean, everything's getting torn down with SMGs already, but are you feeling it in general?
Yeah, because if you think about it, I think wood and brick are the same now at 80. And if you think about it, one SMG bullet does around 20 damage. So it's like
Maths.
it's 3 bullets of an SMG of a 50 clip magazine. You're just tearing down walls.
Yeah, I mean, what they did was wood wall now starts at 80 health, stone starts at 80, and then max health they changed on wood to 150, from 150 to 200, and metal max health is 500 from 400. So they've kind of brought metal up, they brought wood down a little bit for max health. So yeah, there's just some changes. to that.
The starting health is so crucial because in Fortnite, you're reactionary building. You're not really building a stationary tower unless like you're super endgame. But like most of the build fights is someone shooting at you, you react with a wall, ramp. And if you can easily shoot it down, it's just like you're helpless.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what they were trying to adjust was that you do box yourself in so much. I mean, don't you think that probably was the theory is they're trying to keep people from always like protecting themselves?
Well, here's the
fully?
thing. If you're a good player, you can always beat someone camping in a very tall 1x1. But if you're a good player and you're reactionary building and someone who's lesser skilled than you is just holding down the trigger with an SMG and you can't do anything, that's a problem.
Well, but see, SMGs might be the problem. I don't know. Annialis, what do you think? Do you notice much of a difference in the building health, or is it just SMGs that's the problem?
Honestly, I feel like they should revert the building back because it was fine the way it was. With all this spamming, you want to have, yourself building. So that way, it's just a really good, defensive way to get away from a lot of situations. With it being broken down so easily, it's really pointless. And it's like, there's just no point in building at all. Yeah.
Gone too far, maybe. Sean, you kind of came and went, like I said. Are you noticing anything yet?
I think it's a combination of both. I think SMGs are too strong, and then on top of SMGs being incredibly strong, you also lose the health in your wall, and that does like. I mean, I feel so. I played before the changes. I've been playing realistically for the last like 3-4 weeks, and I just thought I was bad at the game all of a sudden. Like I'm like I just can't build and save myself anymore. But it's just there's so much spam.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
and it's actually like I missed the days when it was just like, all right, well now I'm gonna die in this fight, but I'm gonna practice building. Now it's just like I'm just gonna get machine gunned forever.
Yeah. I mean, you can't exclusively separate the two. You do have the SMG problem, so the material's got to follow suit. They changed up the storm circle a bit as well. The zone. So the big one that I noticed was Safe Zone 2. What was it? It came down about 30 seconds of wait time, but then the shrink time also came down 30 seconds, I think. But are you guys noticing much with storm circles, or is it just out of sight, out of mind?
I have been noticing it actually, and I do like the changes because the storm shouldn't be something that kills you. It should be something that moves the action closer. And before the changes, if you got caught into a long fight and you were outside the circle, and then once you finish that team off, and the storm is moving in and you can't outrun it, you're just dead.
That's the worst feeling.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
just
and-
Worst feeling.
And about correction, I said that wrong. So the Safe Zone 2 I was talking about, the shrink time is up 30 seconds on that Safe Zone 2. So yeah, you have more time to run if it really jumps away from you.
Yeah, you can outrun them, but it'll shrink more often.
Yeah,
Yes.
they've adjusted some of that, but they're all different. You can check that out. And then they added I don't even know that I've seen this. Do you know what added a moving circle to Safe Zone 6 means?
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
seen that. Yeah.
What is it?
So the zone just like it like. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So after the 6th safe zone or circle,
like final circle.
it'll just randomly go somewhere. Like I've seen the safe zone just be
it
completely in the
goes
storm.
outside the storm.
Yeah.
And
that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, and that prevents people from fortifying up into like the safe zone and circling up.
Right. Okay.
I like it personally.
I got walled out and lost a game because of that. So
Okay.
I'm bad at building.
Do you like the new Safe Stone storm changes so far?
I love it. I love everything about it. Exactly what he said. It's like there are people that I play against that just like they will run to the circle and they know that's where they gotta go and they start fortifying with steel. And it's just like a headache when you know you're outside a circle and you have to run to him. So I feel like the smaller the circle or the fact that it's moving, it's better. It's like so that way people don't camp.
Okay. Well, we have talked about a ton on today's show. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. We want to come back, obviously, talk about what future updates are coming back. So keep an eye on us. Royale Rundown, I want to point out, throw it over to Steven for a second. On YouTube, you can check out Royale Rundown. Tell us what you do there and why to follow.
Yeah, make sure to check out our YouTube channel, Royale Rundown. No spaces, Royal with an E at the end. We do weekly challenge guides. Basically, anything that happens in Fortnite, we'll cover it in a YouTube video. And we try to update the item shop every day at 5 p.m., but it's kind of hard sometimes.
Yeah, you do a good job, though, in the community tab on YouTube, and we're always posting what's in the item shop.
Make sure to check that out.
Annialis, I want to give you one more opportunity. Where can people find you? Give us your schedule, the whole deal.
You can find me either at twitter.com/Annialis for the win. So that way you guys can know my full schedule. I usually start at 2:00 Pacific time, which is really late, but it's EU friendly. And you can find me at twitch.tv/Annialis for my streams.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you I don't want to wish you the best of luck because by the time people hear this, you've either won or lost probably. But hope you had a good tournament out there tomorrow in the future. Thank you for joining us. Steven, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Sean, thank you.
Thank you.
We will be back very, very soon. Be sure to like and subscribe. Share with your friends if you would like to see more episodes of this Fortnite show. And we'll see you next time. Bye.